your words in mid-air from nowhere cares of the destination for the use to unite the destiny you can find a universe to converse. Proving enough of the value in the words, taking enough of the heaping to decrease your significant worthless and deported to the rich actions and repel your such spells with swells and tongues. How many has that been? How many has that been? Maybe you scroll the notes, prove it in the value of the words that you are taking, decrease that significantly with the worth of the rich to actions, repel that such a spell for the spell tongues. Hung your words in mid-air from nowhere cares of the destination for the use to unite the destiny you can find a universe to converse. Proving enough of the value in the words, taking enough of the heaping to decrease your significant worthless and deported to the rich actions and repel your such spells from swells or tongues. You hung in the mid-air from call for the words that you left song with the plate that after the love of the lamb, or lamb for the world you can find on your plate. Who got beef for the deals for the time you can't afford, for the tab pension to buy the time. It's change to change it down for the X-Ride was liable to take back that number of the times. The tables got turned for the DJs got burned like answer the humble for the phonies and teleport for the angels supported for poor tables and devil they able to stand and wait for waits for no table for salt and beef. No cables and calves and trains, trained to maintain tame. Point the finger for the aim, miss the mark of the apostles. Gossip your gossip words to talk play. Casting that to spell to play the parts with ease and bees. The Kermit is spelling bees and can't adjust the beats and the ease. And hear me now for the future. You're past like 5G, internet for the delivery. Yeah, you be the 111 for the 11, but just you decide to add the E. After the death, before the Christ, and it was a Mary for the martyrs, daughters of the mercy, emerges for the emerging. And this is the emergency, blind to see. ICU for the intensive care units, for that with the silent vow. Unity for the seer, for the scene to Charles in charge. That was after the spleen to speak to me. Ecology for the ecological, for the economy, icons, and which icons to do for the constantly. Tested for the contested content. Squad and real estate for the get my state for the devastated dead. That for the open house without dance floors and hell shoes. Floors without the soul and shoes. Dying to bind and rich and itching. That for the inch depends on finding fabricated soul. Seas and shores and surely bank. Shell for the gas for the carpet, the mission statements. Your mission sovereign for the different be rain over the mayor. Over the Rudolph for the nosy nose and numbers to sing the rain. That for the dear beloved for the blind date, the calendar. That with the good gory and gore and now with that for the commercial break. That for the mirror, the comedy for the calmly calamity for the conglomerate. Radius and ratting out people for the cheese and preposterous preponderance. Pepperoni, pepper tender for the tender pound of heart. Use the teeth that not to bite the chew for the crunch. That for the lunch table, the staple to find the paper together for the couch for the river banks of your ravine for the rabbit rash out. Unattended for the tendencies to dance water for the heat. Headed for the desert for the festival for the modified for the immortality for the morticians. Harm your currency, currently paid for the rent. Religiously for the steel for the safe for the house instead of the kingdom for the oxymoron for the icons. Fly like that, people one that cord. This for the angels in your life for the engage. That for the sneaker for the sneak pack. This for the winner for the windows and the winner for the side of that door for the winner for the nutty for the monkey hope for the Kit Kat that just gave me a break. Listening enough for the air for the be aired in the station death for the morning hours you fade. Gate for the gate for the silent for the symbols. A little lower, a little for the haikus and the symbols and the simple solutions. Salute that for the new. Illuminated that for the air for the immature. Inmate for the mating for the patterns from the just to be the door. More that for the uppers and for the embers ahead of the water. Bottles the pain for the baby that fell in the water. That for the man for the horseman. Yellow that for the horse ropes. That for the rope for the dope for the silver line. Line of line shores. I'll be sure for you to find that period. Never the beer for the unibrowser. Like that for the pause of the bar of the flaws. You made the part to find a martial law for the different weather place. Place it late for the dry your fruit. Food for thought for the Yahweh when they make. Play for the tectonic sit for the U-shape. That for the coordinating for the power for the palate for the different and never be late for the piled up and never there for the delegate. Deliver for the delivery gates. Deliver for the liquor with the latte and latte. And you can find the silent letter for the take out the defining S. You can find that for the matching gun, no flame, don't name again enough for the glamour. You'll be for the cattle for the pound for the catastrophic for this and be the strokes. Strikes, pass, track, pose. That for the pose, that for the position. Pose, that for the opposite for the site for the eight for the four for the proportions. You can work now.
As soon as you press record. And it would be the moments after that you could look for the destination of your Lord. Designated ears and peers that don't have the opportunity to break down these words and said that for the idea. Not to find a rhyme for the intimate, you can find a manifestation. You can find a sick for the find a combination for the oops to be the lubricate. Gucci, you ate the Van the Band-Aid patriarchal society associate. Yo, he asked, he ate, wasn't in the word for the ready to lay. Who ain't that for the whom to sleeping with? Lie next to the awakening in the morning for you can get through the healer for the plants. Yo, use it for the hallucination, yo, gate. That for the properties, keep you smart. Outside those gates of your haters gonna hate. That for the hate for to make haste to taste. Wasted the power, the waste of the resource. Sorted for the outer for the courses that online. Class they take it for the considerate they consider. That was the place for the enter your intern. Waste the face to find the time to waste in snakes. That for the manipulate for the early first sight. These to be seen as sear for now for future. Near for ears or hairs of those. Corn deflate to break to find the fast they take. Eating for the bowl of frosted steaks and fates. A phony spoon of you in the morning for they believe. The actual lies that they have to perpetuate. Perspective, objective for the ejaculate. This is to jack you for the coming periods. Appears to coming later than never they came at all. Since that for the dew came in, we've either had the balls. Come to more for more impregnated and resigned. That was told to resonate the reasons are restored. Reaction to the discernment for the dis was distorted. The screaming in the action is just this demand for the hating, not for the acknowledging circumstances. He excluded himself in the county. The number of the month and maybe the belly dance that you had to learn to begin. And you were inside that womb or two. It was the rising and the resurrection.
Timer inside of your head. Timer inside of your head. Timer inside of your head. Timer inside of your head that will go off as soon as you press record. And if you be the moments after that, you can look for the destination of your Lord. Designated ears and peers who don't have the opportunity to break down these words and said that for the idea. Not to find a rhyme intimate, you can find a manifestation. You can find a sick for the find a combination for the lips to be the duplicate. QTU ate the van, the mandate, patriarchal society associate. Yo, he as he ate wasn't in the word for the ready to lay. Who ain't that for the human sleeping with him? Lie next to the awakening in order for you to get through the healer for the plants. Yo, Lucifer the hallucination, yo gate. That for the providence kingdom, you smart. Outside those gates, your haters go hate. That for the hate for to make haste to taste. Wasted the power, the waste of the resource. Sorted for the out of for the courses that online. Class they take it for considerate they consider. That was the place for the enter your intern. Waste of face to find the time to waste in snakes. That for the manipulate for the early first sight. These to be seen as steer for now for future. Near for ears or hairs of those who corn deflate to break to find the fast they take. Even for the bold across the states of fate to form the smooth you in the morning for they believe the actualized state they have to perpetuate. Perspective, objective for the ejaculate. This is to jack you for the coming periods. Periods to coming later than never they came at all. Since that for the dew came in, we've either had the balls. Come to more for more impregnated and resigned. That was told to resonate the reasons and restored it. Reaction to the discernment for this was distorted. The screaming in the action is just this demand for the hating, not for the acknowledging circumstances. He excluded himself in the county. The number of the month and maybe the belly dance that you had to learn to begin with. And you were inside that womb or two. It was the rising and the resurrection.
This is rhyme time. This is rhyme time right here. It's rhyme time. Critically thinking and wordplay didn't play out the way that it was supposed to be for the league of the yesterday's night lights that shut off with the dark arrived. Deprived for the pupils to dilate, whether that for the time became. You're bored and tardy. Eat what the sub did. Bored and obese. They ate the plates to Plato. Socrates and you identifiable. Flying would be articulated if it was a time of mind and state to play. Orchestrated for the orchestration, coordinating your artificial intelligence. Your ignorant answer to related to so much of it I forgot fire. I even started for that, you know the juice and job and clock to take me off from the giant sight. Hand me the quarter from till the next payday. Wedge me as an irony wage, you can't age the phase without the haze. Sundays to enlighten your inner way for the positivity for the energy. Circulated for the calculate, arrival to the hour of your ETA. Estimated. Stimulate for the patterns of the Saturn's rings of circumference. Circumstances and date to age, if that's to marry, divorce to force. The statistics to behave as honey and trees and weeds and bees live on the wood. And if they for the fine the land and for the pollination. Democracy for the demo, you're crazy enough to be ignorant. Persuaded for the me to oppose your leather, for the rather than sway the grounds you stood on. Didn't understand where you stood enough to be the stud for the bud. Would have the life of the rim of the buds and your own, the rim of the glass and your fleet before every sip of the drink that suds. For the stash and not for the drunk to pain. Drunk in that page for the well, over like Christ. Passover for the free will, goodwill overpass and pass out through for the circulation. Circumstances upright, left shoulder to lean alone. Alleged to legitimize that in allegations and levy your boy for the board and CEO that Nazi paparazzi pictures that will float on the water. No imaginations, no border, no capture that for the ticket, give it the picture to wait for the some distracted lose focus. Judaism water for your resolution will blur out what they wanted to say, all the perception except that for the exemption of persons that accept that way for the right to you to leave out of the middleman. Commonality for the commencement. Common to yacht for the commentary. That needs to die for the semen for the cremation cemetery. All semen carry those. Easter Sunday for the cream that was made for the day for the cremated way. Wait with it went down for the night. The secret hotels and secret anyway. Anybody will really hear it. Will be heard that for the word. This will be the letter for the inbox of your desire to destination. Designated ears appears. Don't have the opportunity for the breakdown of the words and said it. No the ledge. Knowledge to say what it makes sense sensei. Idea that for the sensei, that with no sense had the fire given to the structure off of your healings and discovery for the colors array. Lights and missing marks. Rainbows mixed with all the mysteries. Rivalries and archery, but that is the heart for the arteries. Display the state for the convey to your comply to what you can find. The second letters that was impertinent for the conclusion, and that was the miss what was missed. That for the misinterpretation for the preconceived notions. Notarized, noticing, enticing words, intimacy. Intimidated that for the weak to strengthen the word. Halfway to take them anyway for the strength. Now for the word to manifest in festivities and not to abbreviate the first letter. It was vulnerable. It is able to be spelling cast and credits. Edited today for the enslaved that way of patterns. Simulate the simulation for the virtual reality. Threat to any awakening reality these days. This ain't not why, because the difference is what's sick for the illiterate for to illustrate that it can be obtuse and odd for the odd to validate for that, for to be the balance of the weight for the impatient who wait on dinners and breakfast, dinner and diners and Dutch the serving. Supper the supersize your combination to be colonized. Associated for the instance that as and that called it dictated for the table wasn't the fate on ain't ready not to have the use of oil the duplicated
This is rhyme time right here. It's rhyme time. Critical thinking and wordplay didn't play out the way it was supposed to be for the league of the yesterday's night lights that shut off with the darker ride. Deprived for the peoples to dilate, rather die for the time it came. Bored and tardy, eat what the sub did. Bored and obese, he ate the plates to Plato. Socrates, you identifiable. Flying would be articulate if it was a time and mind, a state to play. Orchestrated for the orchestrator, coordinating your artificial intelligence. Your ignorant answer to relate it. So much of it I forgot fire. I even started for that. You would know the use of job and clock to take me off for the time. Sight handed me a quarter to the next payday. Wedge me as an hourly wage. You can't age to phase that to haze. Sundays to enlighten your inner way for the positivity, for the energy. Recirculated for the calculate. Arrival to the hour of your ETA. Estimated. Stimulate for the patterns of the decider's range and circumference. Circumstances and date to age you. That's a married divorce to force the statistics to behave as honey and trees and weeds and bees that find the wood. And if they for the fine alignment for the pollination. Democracy for the demo, you're crazy, you know, ignorant. Persuaded for the media to oppose your leather, but rather to sway the grounds you stood on. Didn't understand where you stood enough to be the stud for the bud. Had the life with the brim of the buzz in your own, the rim of the glass in your fleet. For every sip of the drink, the suds. For the stash and after the drunk, the pain. Junk in that page for the well, hungover like Christ. Passover for the free will, goodwill over pass and pass out through for the circulation. Circumstances upright. Left shoulder to lean alone. Ledge to legitimize that allegations. Levy your boy for the poor and CEO that Nazi paparazzi pictures that will float on water. No imagination, no order. No capture that for the ticket, give it the picture with for some distracted, lose focus. Today's water for your resolution will blur out. What they wanted to say, all the perception, accept that for the exemption of persons that accept that way for the right to you to leave out of the middleman. Commonality for the commencement. Comment to yacht for the commentary. That needs to die for the semen dip for the cremation cemetery. All semen carry those. He's discerning for the cream that was made for the day for the cream anyway. Wait when it went down for the night, the secret hotels, the secret anyway. Anybody will really hear it. Will be heard that for the word, for the this will be the letter for the inbox of your desire to destination. Designated ears appears. Don't have the opportunity for the breakdown of the words instead of known the ledge. Knowledge to say what it makes sense sensei. Idea that for the sensei, that with no sense and had to fire given to the start you offer your healers and discovery for the colors of red. Lights in missing march. Rainbows mixed with all the mysteries. rivalries or archery, but that is the heart for the arteries. Display the state for the conveys of your come light to what you can find. The second letters that was a curtain for the conclusion, and that was the miss what was missed. That for the misinterpretation from the preconceived notions. Notarized, noticing, enticing words, intimacy. Intimidated after the weak to strengthen the word. Halfway to take them for the anyway for the strength. Now for the word to manifest in festivities and not to abbreviate the first letter. Infrontable. It is able to be spelling and cast and credits. Edited today for the enslaved that wave of patterns. Simulate the simulation from the virtual reality. Threatening the awakening reality these days. Because they not lie, because the difference is what's safe for the illiterate, for the illustrate that it can be obtuse and odd, for the odd to validate, for that for the get balance and the wait for the impatient who wait on the nurse and front of dinner and dining sometimes to seven. Sucker the supercycle combination to be colonized. Associated for the instance that has not colonized data for the was the fading and ready to have things in the lubricating the game.